If you wanted to know what the best sublimation printer was for beginners, then stay tuned. You won't want to miss this video. Hey, what is going on? The Printer Guy here, and in this video I'm going to be setting up the Epson EcoTank 2400 model and showing you that this is the absolute best beginner sublimation printer. If this video ends up being helpful, please make sure to like the video. Any questions at all, comment below, and if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. I want to come right out the gate and tell you that the best sublimation printer for beginners, if you're just starting out, is the Epson EcoTank 2400 model. And the reason why is because it is very affordable. You're going to be paying under $200 for this printer with the sublimation ink. Both of those linked down in the description below. You may be paying around $200. That is around $175 for the printer and $20 for the ink. Now, what I actually ended up doing was I ended up buying this Epson EcoTank printer and installing regular ink because regular ink comes in the box. But the great thing about many of the Epson EcoTank models is that you can do a conversion, and that's what I did. I ended up converting from regular ink, so I installed the regular ink into the printer, like I said, and I was able to actually remove that regular ink and install sublimation ink. This was a fairly simplified process, and really at the end of the day, all it was using a kit to essentially suction out all of the regular ink quickly and effectively, and then being able to actually install the sublimation ink. Again, linked down in the description below. Also, the kit that I used for the conversion is linked below as well. The reason I do that is because you may already have a Epson EcoTank 2400 or similar model. And a conversion would be much more cost effective than you having to actually buy a new printer and install sublimation ink from the beginning. But that is what you can do. If you don't already own an Epson EcoTank printer, you can purchase a brand new one and simply not install the regular ink like I'm doing here. You just would skip this step and you would simply install sublimation ink. So the reason why I would advise you to buy this printer versus any other printer for sublimation printing is because of course, the low cost, like I mentioned, it's also very easy and simplified. There's not too many bells and whistles to deal with. And you will be able to begin sublimation printing fairly quickly. Your turnaround time will be quickly because the printer is so simplified. Now, if you went into purchasing a more complicated printer, of course, there's more setup time, there's more of a learning curve. And really, if you are just getting into something, you kind of want to start out with the lowest model. That's just my opinion. And that is my advice when it comes to choosing a sublimation printer as a beginner. The Epson EcoTank 2400 will fulfill all your needs. As you can see here, I'm actually undertaking a project where I am going to be sublimating onto a metal sign. And so this is the sublimation paper and the design that I printed on this paper with the 2400. And of course, there's a lot of other equipment, a lot of other materials that need to be purchased, but that comes along with your printer. If you don't have the printer, of course, you can't really do much else. But this is the metal sign. There's a side that is coated with a white layer, and this is the side that I actually ended up printing on. But it just goes to show you that the Epson EcoTank 2400 can print to the capacity where you can actually do different designs and you can print on different media. All that really matters is the sublimation paper. As long as your ink is transferring onto that paper well and there's no breakage, there's no blockage, there's no fading in the color, and the color is crisp, then you will come out with a good product and a good final project. You don't need to spend lots of money on all this different equipment. Now, if you choose to upgrade later, of course, that's the way to go, I think, because you would have already practiced with a more affordable option of a printer. I am also using an affordable heat press. So that, along with all the other materials, using the most affordable options, just gives you good practice. It gets you into actual sublimating, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. And if you mess something up like I'm about to do here with this design, it's not the end of the world. You're simply practicing. Now, I do have other videos and a playlist that will show you and break down what I did to size these images, kind of go through the different step-by-step process to get to this point where I'm sublimating onto this metal sign. I'm also going to be in this video sublimating onto some kids' t-shirts. So unless you are doing very large sublimation prints, let's say 14 by 19 or 13 by 19, then you're really not going to need anything more than the 2400 initially, at least. And as you can see here, this was a failed attempt, and that was simply because of the application. These were some practice runs with a metal sign. This is just to show you that as a beginner, you will potentially make some mistakes along the way, and it's nice to have the cheaper materials. That way, any small mistakes that you make don't feel big and they don't feel overwhelming because you've spent all this money on sublimation. Now, another thing with the Epson EcoTank 2400 is you don't have a screen on it, and you most likely won't be using the mobile app. You will likely be using a PC or a laptop to download a design and to configure everything and the sizing. That's very important. If you are going the route of using a mobile app or something else along those lines, it is going to be very challenging to get a print printed the right way because you have to flip the print. There is some sizing that needs to be taken care of, and there's just a little bit more of an adjustment that needs to be had, and you can't really do that with the mobile app on the screen, so you're going to rely on a PC and laptop. Now, if you bought an Epson EcoTank that was more expensive that had a screen, that screen would really go to waste, and you would have spent money on an additional feature that you really did not need, especially if you're just starting out. So in conclusion, the Epson EcoTank 2400, I believe, is the absolute best beginner-friendly sublimation printer. And that is because of the cost effectiveness, because of the simplified nature of the printer, and it is a very efficient, well-rounded printer for the price that you are paying. So you're getting a lot for what you need to get started with sublimation printing, and that is a very big part of the picture. And of course, in this video, I've thrown in here just some different projects that I've done on t-shirts, on that metal sign, just to show you that the quality that a less expensive Epson EcoTank sublimation printer can perform is going to be pretty on par with some of your more expensive sublimation printers. And really, if anything, you're probably getting the exact same quality. I really hope this video ended up being helpful. If it was, please make sure to like the video. Any questions at all, comment below. And if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I handpicked 2 videos that are here on the screen for you to watch next. Also consider subscribing to this channel. There's so much helpful content for you if you're a printer owner, and it's just good to have a resource like this for you in the future, whether you're dealing with a printer that's not printing well or you need more printer recommendations. So I look forward to seeing you again in another video.